Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakdash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, the time of this truth and rule well. And I want to say shalom to you Aknakwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled, Get Ready for Some Cyberpunk Shit Hitting the Fan. Alright, you know what SHTF, shit hits the fan, or shit hitting the fan. Alright, get ready for some cyberpunk shit hitting the fan. Alright, and those that are in the know should have an idea of, if you know about the whole, not the game Cyberpunk, but the concept of cyberpunk futures. Alright, those of you that know, those of you that are in the know, alright, will know, what we're talking about. Of course, talking about the mark of the beast, alright, the RF to the ID C-hip, the digital device, alright, the digital all, alright, upon many other names for that device, alright, ultimately the device that will be established to bring forth the NWO by these elites, okay, which is the RFID chip, alright, implant, alright. So, and it's common knowledge for most, brothers and sisters in this truth, all right, and even some people that are not, all right, are aware of, what the RFID chip is, all right, and its implications on what it is and being the mark of the beast, all right. There are, even Christian groups out in the world, and where do you think they got it from? They got it from GMS, okay, and that's where everyone's got it from if they know the RFID chip being the mark of the beast, all right, because, Apostle Dahar is the one that, started bringing that out, I believe, all right? I believe primarily, all right? If I'm incorrect on that, a brother can correct me in the comments. But it's ever so obvious and apparent to those that are in the truth what this device is. You got other camps saying that it's the, it's sin, it's, sexual relationships with a white woman, it's Sunday worship. Not necessarily camps with the Sunday worship, but I know there's Christianity doctrines out there that say that's exactly what it is, which it's not. Doesn't even make any sense. All right, because you can't buy anything with having sex with a white woman. You can't buy anything with having, sin. You can't buy anything with Sunday worship. It just doesn't make any sense. All right, when the scriptures say that, no man may buy or sell. If you can't buy or sell, how are you going to buy then? You're going to buy with what? Sex? You're going to buy with sin? That doesn't make any sense, man. How many sins are you going to have to do for a flat screen TV? It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense, man. All right, but these people, it's clear that the spirit ain't working with them. They ain't got it. All right, and that's the only reason they're coming out with these bugged out ass doctrines, man. All right, so get ready for some cyberpunk shit hitting the fan. All right, of course, and that's referring to the mark of the beast. And shit's going to hit the fan, man. We're already getting there. We're working our way up to it. All right. And today we got 2 articles that just popped up on my home screen for Google. And I said, hey, man, well, I guess we got to go into a mark of the beast lesson, because it's also apparent and obvious where they're taking this thing. Okay. So first I want to define what cyberpunk is for those that are not in the know. Now, a lot of people, when they think about Cyberpunk, they might think about the game Cyberpunk 2077, which does detail some of these events because, of course, that game's based in a cyberpunk reality. But the word cyberpunk by itself says cyberpunk is a subgenre of science fiction, so sci-fi, like you got fantasy, you have sci-fi, like Star Wars and all that stuff. It's a concept. It says in a dystopian future. What is dystopian? Let's look what dystopian is. A dystopia, from the ancient Greek, doulos, bad, and topos, okay? Also called kakotopia or anti-utopia, is a speculated community or society that is undesirable or frightening, okay? It's a community that is undesirable or frightening. Let's look at some of the things that happen to do with a cyberpunk society, because this is exactly precisely where we're headed. It says, which created a blueprint for an ideal society with minimal crime, violence, and poverty. The relationship between utopia and dystopia is In actuality, not one simple opposition, as many utopian elements as well and components were found in dystopias as well. All right, and the main thing with dystopias is that they have these corporate overlords that they call corpos that are always in control, man. Okay, the corporations, these elites essentially that rule over society, and they made it into this terrible place that it is now. Okay, so let's go. It says dystopias are often check it out. Dystopias are often characterized by fear or distress, tyrannical governments. Okay. And environmental disaster, in this of course, in this real-world scenario that we're headed to, would be a tyrannical government. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, all right, and his NWO, his New World Order that he wants to, his novel sort of seclorium that he wants to put into effect. All right, it says environmental disaster or other characteristics associated with a cataclysmic decline in society. Themes typical of dystopian society include complete control over the people in a society through the usage of propaganda, heavy censoring of information, denial of free thought, worshiping an unattainable goal, the complete loss of individuality, and heavy enforcement on conformity. Okay? Look at that. Look at that. That's where we're headed. Some cyberpunk shit is getting ready to hit the fan. Some cyberpunk shit is getting ready to hand. And this is what they call... oh man, what's the word I'm looking for? Salakia. Let me ponder. What's the word? God damn it. Predictive programming. Salakia. Predictive programming, all right? They put it out there before they do it, all right? It's predictive programming. And so, they tell you what they're going to do before they do it. They put it in a show, into a movie, ha ha ha, he, very funny. All right, it's nothing important, right? It's nothing real, right? But that's completely, it's completely factual. All right, they do it before they do it. All right, and there's been movies about these digital devices. And I mean, look at Cyberpunk 2077 and all the games and things about Cyberpunk. What does it focus on? Putting chips in your body, man. They call them cybernetics. All right, mods. All right, you might get a cybernetic eye. You might get a chip in your wrist, or, they call it jacking in. You can interface with computers and shit. And when you get that RFID, that digital device, you don't think you're going to be able to interface with computers? You're absolutely going to be able to interface with computers, man. Okay, you're so very much so going to be able to interface with computers. Okay, you're going to be able to do things on your phone with it and all those things. So you got to think, where is this headed? It's headed to a digital cyberpunk society. They're putting that in movies, they're putting it in games, they're putting it in books, all right? And those who are not ignorant of the matter will know, but a lot of people, they live in they live in denial, man. They don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit that it's true. So, there it says famous examples include George Orwell's 1984. And if you go and watch 1984, Apostle Gabar has talked about 1984 several times, man. Several times. Because there's a lot of shit in 1984 that's becoming factual or is on the way to become factual. Okay? What else do we got? Fahrenheit 451. I'm not too familiar. I've heard of it. What else do we got? It says some authors use the term to referring existing societies, many of which are or have been totalitarian states or societies in an individual state of collapse. And let's see, common themes. Let's see. Oh, let me pop a seat here. We got, let's see. Dystopias are also often filled with pessimistic views of the ruling class or a government that is brutal or uncaring, ruling with an iron fist. Okay, so this is the state, and we don't have to keep on going on and going on and going on. All right, because we're living in it. All right, you know what a dystopia is because we're living in it. That's cyberpunk. All right, the other things about cyberpunk. Let's see, cyberpunk. Let's see if it mentions the chipping. Let's see. Background. I got a fly messing with me. Let's see. Style. Nah, it won't load, so that's whatever. We can continue on. You got Novo Sorta Seclorium, which we want to touch. Here it is. It's the reverse side of the Great Seal of the United States. All right. And there, and the Apostle Gabar has I believe he mentioned it as being, meaning he favors our enterprise or with great success, right? Here, it says on, this was kind of interesting, all right? And bear with me just a moment. Had an asshole on a fucking dirt bike. I had to make as much fucking noise as possible. All right, I was looking through it here, and this was notable to me. I said, okay, well, look at that. It says Thomas. Where was it? Where did it go? Check it out. The motto "Novus Ordo Seclorum" was translated and added to the sail by Charles Thompson, a Latin expert who was involved in the design of the Great Seal, as a new order of the ages. It says to signify the beginning of a new American era, as the date of the Declaration of Independence in 1770. Whatever. A new order of the ages. What do you think that means? A new order, the New World Order. All right, where they have complete control over society. All right, so let's go and get Revelation 13 and 16. Fuck you for not having it up already. So, most of you brothers and sisters already know this, but we're reading it again because we got to bring it out. It's Revelation 13 and 16, okay? We're going to read it and we're going to break it down and you're going to see if it's sin or anything else. No, it's not. Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So it doesn't matter if you're tall, it doesn't matter if you're small, it doesn't. And this is really speaking of not stature, but societal state. All right, are you big or small? Are you rich and poor, free and bond? All right, it doesn't matter how if you're on the bottom or on the top. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. It doesn't matter if you're free or under bondage. You're gonna get this thing, man. All right, or you're not, or else. All right, that's how the New World works. The New World Order works. That's how Esau has it set up. You're gonna get it or else. Okay, and really the people that don't get it are going to be in a better condition than the people that do get it. Now, let me rephrase. The people that don't get it, that are of the elect, the Israelites, are going to be better off than those people that do get it. Okay, they're going to be better off not having taken it because the Lord's going to take care of his elect. And I had to rephrase that because some of these heathens are going to not take it. All right, and they don't have the Lord to help them and work with them through that situation. All right, you still shouldn't take it, but at the end of the day, you're not going to have anybody to help you with that situation either. So you're kind of fucked all around. In verse 17, it says, "And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." All right, so this means if you don't have that, you're not going to be buying and be selling it. If you need clothes, what do? You buy them. If you need food, what do? You buy it. Okay, you're not going to be able to buy nor sell. You don't take the chip, you don't get the chips. Right? No chip, no chips. All right, no snacks, no Doritos. All right, no burritos and no Fritos. All right, and no Cheetos. All right, I'm just naming all the shit that rhymes. All right, no cans of beans, no rice, nothing. Okay, nothing. You don't take the chip, you don't get shit. All right, that's how it works. That's how they have it set out. They don't realize that even the people that don't get the chip that are the elect, they're still going to be helped out by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, as the scripture says, "My servant shall eat, but you shall be hungry. My servant shall drink, but you shall be thirsty. My servant shall my servant shall rejoice, but you shall, you should be, roughly paraphrasing. I can't remember the last part of the verse. We can go and try to get it. My data's being a little goofy, but let's see. And it's not been working well, so call all Yahweh Shem Yahushai it's even doing this, because it really hasn't been working at all. Okay, this is Isaiah 65 and 13. If I tried to look up anything else, it would just cut out. It wouldn't work at all. So call all Yahweh Shem Yahushai for this being able to work, to be able to get this lesson out, because really it's been giving me an issue. So Isaiah 65 and 13. Let me finish 18 and we'll go over there. This is Revelation 16 and Revelation 13 and 16, Salakia, or 18, Salakia, as I go through. 7 different numbers that I'm trying to say. Slakia. Revelation 13 and 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. That number being 666. All right, that's the exact number that they put in barcodes. Go find a barcode. All right, those 2 little lines on the on the left, that's 6. Those 2 same lines are going down the middle. That's 6. And the 2 on the right, that's 6. And this is not just some shit that we're making up. Go and look up what the numbers mean. Those barcodes, those lines, the different width and different, the different width of them and position equates to, in the different way that they're conjoined. All right, you might have 2 lines by side. That equates to a number. All right, a barcode is a series of numbers. It looks like a bunch of black lines, but it's a series of numbers. Okay, so if you have a long dash, that could be a 4, whatever that equates to. You got to look up what the barcode, basically the key to barcodes are. All right, and once you find out what a 1 is, what a 2 is, a 3 is, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, and a 9, and how they space 10s and certain things like that. I don't think they really do 10s like that. No, it doesn't do 10s. It's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's how it works, all right? It goes from 0 to 9, all right? And the 6 just happens to be the ones. Look it up. Now, I'm not bullshitting. You have no reason to bullshit. You look it up. Go on Google and go to barcode numbers, okay? And then go and grab any barcode anywhere in your house. Go and grab a can of a seltzer water. Go and grab a cheese or a packet of butter out of your fridge. Go and look on the bottom, the side of your milk jug. It doesn't matter, man. Go and look it up, and you'll find on the left is 6, on the middle is 6, and on the right is 6 on every single barcode. Okay, and that's that number. All right, and in verse 17 it says, or the number of his name. Okay, so that's just simply how it works, man. That's simply how it works. All right, there's no if, and, or buts about it. All right, and going on from verse 16, again it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, once you realize that, it's in verse 17, and you add that up, and no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark of the number or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Once you get that, that means if you do not have it, you will not be able to buy, you will not be able to sell. It doesn't matter if you're rich, doesn't matter if you're poor, doesn't matter if you're known or if you're unknown, doesn't matter if you're free or doesn't matter if you're captive. All right, at the end of the day, if you don't have that, you're not going to be able to buy. You're not going to be able to go into Walmart. You're not going to be able to go into Albertsons. You're not going to be able to go in Kmart. Well, Kmart went out of business. You're not going to be able to go to Fry's or Kroger's or whatever you call them, or Food Lion, all right, or Wawa's. And you're not going to be able to go to Burger King. You're not going to be able to go to McDonald's. You're not going to be able to go to any of these places, Popeye's Chicken. All right, you're not going to be able to go to any of these places. Okay, unless you have that mark. You're not going to be able to go to Zales, all right, and get your girl a ring because you're a simp. All right, you're not going to be able to go and buy a boat. You're not going to be able to go and buy gasoline or to buy a new car. You're not going to be able to do any of those things unless you have that mark. Okay, it's that simple. And it says that you won't be able to buy or sell without it. How? Okay, if you receive a mark. Now, another way to do this is by getting that word charagma. All right, now if we go and look up Revelation 13 and 16. All right, and actually, matter of fact, let me not do it that way. Let me go and just type in Blue Letter Bible. All right, if you look up in Blue Letter Bible, and we might not be able to do it. All right, but I'll explain what it is if not. All right, we should be able to do it. If this fucking Bill Gates infested ass mosquito don't get away from me. God damn, thing's bugging me. I'm just gonna keep moving actually, because the bugs over here are crazy. Anyway, I don't want to know those Bill Gates ass mosquitoes up on me either. Anyway, gotta wait here, and maybe it'll give us a better opportunity for the data. Slack you for that. So let's see if we can get here. All right. So yeah, man. And while that's loading, it should be able to load in the background. We can go over here. Well, actually, we can go. Get Isaiah 65 and 13. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Okay, so it doesn't matter who you are, what you are, or what it is, if you took the mark or not. All right, it doesn't matter. If you're not a servant of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, you're not going to eat. You're not going to drink. You're not going to be rejoicing. All right, you're going to be in a terrible situation. You're going to be very low. All right, you're going to be starving. Your fucking stomach's going to be touching your back, your spine. You're going to be starving to death. It's not going to be good. All right, I think that street teacher says, stomach touching your spine, or however he says it. All right, you're not gonna you're not going to eat, man. You're not going to drink. Okay? It's going to be very, very bad for you. All right? It doesn't matter if and or but, no ands or buts about it. Are you serving Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai? Are you a servant of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai? Yes, you're going to eat. No, you're not going to eat. It's that simple. All right? That's how it works. It doesn't matter if you took a digital device or not. It doesn't matter like that. Okay? It doesn't matter if you took the digital device. You might eat for what? A couple days. All right? But after that, it ain't going to be so good for you. All right? They might let you eat for a little bit. Oh, come on in. You come into the stores. And then after that, what? Nothing. All right? So, continuing on. It should be loaded. There we are. Boom, bam. Call all Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for that. Revelation 13:16. We'll read it once again. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. That word mark is notable. In their right hand or in their foreheads. Let's go to tools. Let's go down here. That word mark, that's going to say karagma. All right? We say karagma, but I think it goes karagma. All right? Is how it's technically pronounced. It's karagma. All right? What is this word? Mark. Where is it at? It's going to be karagma. Receive a mark. There it is. Karagma. Strong's G4580. Now we got to wait for this to load, all right, because I'm waiting for my data to roll over. All right, I think I got 4 or 5 more days. After day, it'll be about 4 days that I got to wait for this data to roll over. So I've been trying to get my lessons out. I woke up late, unfortunately, today. All right, I wanted to sleep in because it was Sabbath, but it had to be had to go down to the plantation to work today, unfortunately. So this is the word karagma. All right, that's a Greek word, karagma. All right, now we can go to the pronunciation. And Lord willing, I don't know if we'll have enough data to hear it, but let's see. It might not load. I've hit
Strong's G 5480. Haragma.
All right, haragma. I pronounced it wrong still, but we just say karagma, right? So I'll call all Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for that being allowed to play. All right. Because, like I said, I haven't been able to do jack shit on this phone. All right, so this being able to work right now is nothing other than Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai allowing it to happen. Because if I was trying to look up something the other day, like about video games or whatever, it wouldn't load. All right, but the Lord, call all Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai that, we're allowed to do this. Because I'm saying, man, it would not have worked. So let's continue on. Strong's info. What does it mean? Haragma, right? Karagma. We just say karagma, all right? No need to do all that extra. Haragma, all right? Karagma. Says the same as G5482, which I believe the word is graphos. It says a scratcher, etching, a stamp as a badge of servitude or sculptured figure. Here's the point right here. All right? Graven mark. Graven. It's a spiritual mark. It's a spiritual mark of sin. It's a spiritual mark of sin. No, it's not. It's a physical mark. All right? It's a physical mark. There's going to be a chip inserted within your wrist. All right? It's physical. It's the RFID chip. It's physical. It's not a spiritual mark. Now, the mark mentioned, all right, about the scripture doesn't come to mind at the time, but the mark of election, all right, the seal, all right, that's put in within the foreheads of the elect. That. Okay, that is a spiritual mark. Okay, but this word is a physical mark. Now, the archaic, another word, not archaic, but it goes back to this word. It should be graphos. No, not graphos. Slakia, karox. I don't know what I'm saying. Graphos. Graphos is a different word. Karox. All right, now, this goes back to a type of a spike. All right, a thing from like a picket fence, right? Let's get it. Check it out. It says, to sharpen to a point, through the idea of scratching, a stake, a palisade or a rampart. Okay, go look up a palisade or rampart or a stake. All right, not a steak as in the one you eat, but a stake. Let's look it up. What is a stake? And I'm not talking about a stake as in fucking investment either. That's another, those high stakes. No. Stake, S-T-A-K-E. All right, the thing they used to put Dracula out. All right. We just got to wait. There's a picture of one right there. All right, well, see, there we go. It's messing up. But you already saw it. It's a piece of wood, man. It's a stake. All right. Here, zoom in real quick. Boom. That's a stake. All right, metal stake. There we go. Boom. That's a stake. That's a stake. Okay, so let's go back here and look up RFID. All right, don't want to say it too much, but let's go look at the type of needle that they use. Let's go and see. Just gotta wait here. Oh, what is that? That's it right there. Look at that bump. Look at it. So, no, but you guys ain't got the spirit working with you, okay? You ain't got the spirit working with you, and if you don't have the spirit, you're not going to be able to understand that it's speaking of a physical mark, all right? And that physical mark is the RFID chip, okay? It's not no sin, it's nothing, and it's going to come because they're getting ready to get rid of the dollar, and what do you think? And they're going to get ready to do a CBDC, a central bank digital currency, all right? That's also going to be used to track credit and your carbon levels, all right, and a credit score, social credit score, all that stuff, all right? That's all coming its way. It's all coming its way, but nobody believes it, all right? Until it happens. Oh, those guys are right. And then you're going to be looking for those guys. All right, who are those guys? The apostles, the elders, the brothers, the prophets. All right, you're going to be looking for them, and you're not going to find them. Oh, we should listen what they had to say. Too late. The famine of the word already went out. You're not going to be able to find them anymore. They're not going to be teaching on highways and byways. All right? They're not going to be doing that. So nice try. All right, it's going to be too late for you. Okay? You snoozed, you losed. All right, here's two different articles that popped up my home screen, both from Markets Insider. About 93% of global central banks are exploring digital currencies, and that could boost de-dollarization, a report by IMF staff says. Let's read it again. About 93%. That's a lot. 93% is a lot. I don't know if you know that, but that's a lot. Okay? I'm just being antagonistic to you weirdos out there. Not you brothers or sisters, but these weirdos out there. Okay? It's never going to happen. You act like ain't nothing ever going to happen, man. It's completely ridiculous. Okay? So, about 93% of global central banks are exploring digital currencies, and that could boost de-dollarization. What is de-dollarization? All right, that means to remove. All right, to deduct. To deduct something, to deduce something, all right, to demilitarize something, to de-dollarize, all right? You need to know these things, man. It's basic. And today out at my job, I said it's a simple word. And, a lot of these people are fucking idiots, all right? You don't want to be a fucking idiot, man, okay? A lot of these people don't know jack shit. I literally said the word squalor today, and the two fucking dumbasses at my job didn't even know what squalor meant. If you don't know what squalor is, please, I'm not calling any of you in the comment, any of you dumb, but please go look up, learn some definitions, man. You don't even know what squalor means. And I said, that's a basic English phrase that you learn that. Did you not read any, I said, did you guys read like Catcher in the Rye or Shakespeare or any of, any standard reading? Anybody would know what squalor means. It's not like some grand fucking term. It's not like I said, I can't even think of some big word. Squalor. That's it. Filth. Squalor. But these people didn't know it. It shows you how dumb the average person is these days. And to quote George Carlin, think about how dumb the average person is, and then realize half of them are dumber than that. It's true, man. How dumb these fucking people are. Okay? And a lot of these people, I'm not talking about you brothers and sisters, but really, when you come in this truth, all right, like Apostle Gabar always says, we're over here, we are, what's the word? My brain's losing track. What's the word? He always talks about the collegiate level of, the snakes, the owls. There's another one, too, that's my mind is failing me on. It's, it's a simple word, too, and I just can't think of it. Not scholarly. What's the word I'm looking for? Searching for it. It'll get there. We'll come back to it. But anyway, this. But anyway, a lot of these people are, God damn, it's right on the tip of my tongue too. I hate it when that happens. Fuck, man. I remember he was talking about Monty Python. It's going to drive me nuts if I don't figure out what that word is. But it's whatever. We can move on. We don't necessarily need it. Intellectuals. That's the word I was looking for. I knew it was there. Intellectuals. All right? Intellectuals. All right? He always says, over here at Great Millstone, we're intellectuals. All right? Not that I'm a part of Great Millstone, but if you're watching Great Millstone, that's where you're getting the truth from, because they're the ones bringing out the truth, and the other brothers that are following after Great Millstone. All right? Because the truth came out of One West. Okay? And if you're and GMS is the only ones that didn't go off and start teaching some cockamamie, wacko, weirdo stuff, or taking a bag. And we're not going to name names of who's who, all right? But, you know, there's a notable guy that likes to wear a color very, you know, they all like to wear the same color, all right? And you should know who we're talking about, all right? They love that color, all right? That, you know, took the bag. It's believed that, you know, they have the 501c3. So a 501c3 means you took a payout, okay? So, you know, but if you're watching them, if you're watching GMS, you should consider yourself to be an intellectual. One of the things that GMS, the apostles, will tell you is look it up. Look up the definition of thing. You can't know anything if you don't know the definitions, man. All right? It's just like if you don't know the word, it's like these Christians, they don't know the word again. Okay, and because of that, they misinterpret scripture all the time that's dealing with the word again. Graph them at again, they always misinterpret that. Why? Because they don't know what again means. Meaning, another time, once more. All right? It's not very hard, man. It's not, you know, and we're not claiming to be the most intelligent people, but you should have some level of intelligence about you. Okay? Some level of intelligence, you know, where you know basic words. If you don't know basic words, you're not going to understand the scriptures. How are you going to understand what a word means if you don't know what that word means? It doesn't add up. We've talked about it before. So D, there's your homework. Look up with the word DE, the prefix D, okay? DE, okay? So de-dollarization, all right? So that means removing the dollar, toning the dollar down, getting rid of it, okay? It's bringing on de-dollarization. That's exactly what they're trying to do. They want to get rid of physical currency. They don't want no more pennies, no nickels, no dimes, no quarters. They don't want no dollar bills, no $2 bills, no $5 bills, no $10 bills, no $20 bills, no $50 bills, and no $100 bills. All the bills and all the changes got to go. All right? Why? Because they can't have that around. They don't want you paying for anything with that. What do they want you paying with? They want you paying with that mark, that C-HIP, that digital device. All right? And even if you did have a couple dollars stored up and later on, I'm going to save some. It's not going to be worth shit. Sorry, we don't take the dollar anymore. For example, my job, we don't even accept cash. If you try to come into my job and buy something with cash, you cannot get it. We don't accept it. The company stopped accepting cash. It's only payments through card and Apple Pay, Google Pay, all of that digital pay. You can literally not buy anything from my job unless you have some sort of digital payment. Everybody uses Apple Pay. You wave your phone over and it goes ping, and that's it. And guess what? Soon that's going to be you waving your hand over the device, ping, and it's going to be that chip in your hand. Okay? Let's continue on. And I got to get to some scriptures. I'm rambling, man. It says the de-dollarization drive is spreading wider. Indonesia is the latest bank to join the anti-buck movement. Well, surely this is not happening. It is happening, and don't call me Shirley. All right? Inside joke. So, those of you that have seen that movie. Indonesia appears to be the latest country to jump on the de-dollarization bandwagon. The island nation has launched a national task force to promote local currency transactions. The move is expected to help make the rupiah more stable and support local financial markets, Bank Indonesia said. And that's basically all they got on it. Well, let's get the scriptures, man. So let's get Isaiah 10:1. Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. That's exactly what they're doing. We got to quick fire some of these. We're going to get Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thine enemy. For like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay, so these people, they're making unrighteous decrees, and unrighteous. You look up that word, all right? Look up the word, the prefix un, All right, I don't think it's necessarily called a prefix. A prefix would be a title, but still, it's like a compound word almost. I can't remember the exact name. I'm not claiming to know everything. All right, I'm not claiming to be the smartest guy in the world, but you should have a scholarly approach to you, to want to learn, to want to know new definitions. All right, all right, different terms like this. Unrighteous means not righteous. All right, unworthy means you're not worthy. When you see it basically means not. Unrighteous, you're not righteous. Unworthy, you're not worthy. All right, so there you go. They're making these unrighteous decrees. And what's those unrighteous decrees? You got to take this, they're going to take your money away, and you got to take this, and you got to take that, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. There's a whole bunch of unrighteous decrees saying you can't speak about these alphabet soup, Fruity Loop people, man. All right, that's an unrighteous decree. All right, that's directly interfering with the Constitution that they've made. We don't believe in the Constitution. Fuck that shit. It's just a bunch of bullshit that Esau made. But it's directly interfering with it. And sometimes we play off of it just to rile them up, to rattle their chains, all right, to shake their chains, to tug their chains or pull on their chain, right? Because we know it pisses them off. Here they are. They try to make these laws. And, that's against the Constitution. That's unconstitutional. But, hey, guess what? They still do it anyway, man. They still do it anyway. Why? Because they really don't care at the end of the day. It's their Constitution, and they'll say what they want and do what they want. All right? So, another one, continuing on, we got Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy. All right? And by going and taking this little device, just like all of you little fucking idiots ran off and got that little thing in your arm, all right? And we're not going to say necessarily what it is, all right, because then they'll say some other things, all right, but they can't take anything down when we're not mentioning any specifics, all right? You could think what it wants. It could be a million different things that I'm mentioning right now, all right? And you can't jump to assumptions, all right, and say that that's what I'm talking about. But you brothers and sisters in the know, you know exactly what I'm talking about, all right? If you have the spiritual mind on you to understand, all right? So, but you all ran off and when you got afraid, okay? So what do you think you're going to do next when and that was a test, man. Okay, what do you think you're gonna do now? What do you think's gonna happen when you get all afraid? When they tell you, that's gonna happen. What do you think you're gonna go and get? You're gonna get that RFID chip. All right, you're gonna get the RFID. All right, that radio frequency identification device. That's precisely what you're going to get. Okay, and you go, oh no, I'm not. Yes, you are. You're gonna get it. If you're afraid, then you're sure the fuck gonna be afraid with what's coming. Okay, so let's get Isaiah 14 and 12 through 20, because this is who Esau is. This is the so-called white man. This is what they want to be. Let's get Isaiah 14 and 12. They want to be gods, powerful beings. That's what they want to be. You can tell by all the things that they do in movies, and they make things like Superman and all these things. They want to be God. All right, Isaiah 14 and 12. It says, "How art thou fallen, from heaven, O Lucifer," Lucifer being representative of the so-called white man, Esau, the Edomites. All right, if you believe it, you believe it. If you don't, you don't. This isn't recessed learning. There's many lessons on it. Go and learn it. If you're accepting of it, you're accepting of it. If you're not, you're not. "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High." So he's going to be better than the Most High, right? It says, "I will sit upon the mount of the congregation, the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." That's what they think. All right, and that's why they do these things. They do what the world calls playing God. They like to play God. All right, that's a fun thing for them to do because they want to have complete control. They want to be omnipotent like the Lord is, and they're never going to achieve it. Because what does it say? What's going to happen? They're going to try these things, but what's going to happen? Verse 15, it says, Yet thou shalt be brought down to the hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. And there's a word for you to look up. Look up that word renowned. All right, revered, renowned. All right, then you're never going to be popularized. You're never going to be good. You're never going to be great. You're never going to be, famous or immortalized or well thought of. Okay, It's just not, Esau. You think you are, but it's just simply not the case. You're sorely mistaken. You're sorely mistaken. All right, it's unfactual. All right, you thought wrong. Well, you thought wrong. All right, Matthew 24 and 14. This is we're going to close out with. All right, we're going all the way to 42. So this is what's got to happen. All right, the gospel is being preached right now. It's got to happen. And then what's going to happen? Let's read it. Matthew 24 and 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So this has to go out before all nations. Everyone's got to see it, not just the Israelites. All right, not notably just the elect. All nations have to see it. Doesn't mean they're going to receive it. Doesn't mean they're going to understand it, but it's got to go before them. All right, it's got to be preached before the Edomites. It's got to be preached before the Ammonites, the Hamites, the Ishmaelites, and so on and so forth. All right, there's been many a times where the brothers on the highways and byways have literally directly combated a demonic-ass Edomite that just came up to camp and started, spouting shit. And I said, you're an Edomite. All right, and then they get all mad. So that's before all nations, all right? Verse 14, Matthew 24 and 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them who be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything not out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and them that give suck in those days. This is speaking of the coming terrible times of Jacob's trouble. It says, but pray ye that your flight be not in winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there shall be no flesh saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So it's going to be a terrible, terrible, terrible time, Jacob's trouble. All right, you're not going to be able to get out of it. All right, and the only people that are going to even make it through are the elect. All right, the elect of Israel. Okay, that's it. No one else is going to make it. All right, not the 2/3 of Israel, just the 1/3 only. That's it. So, and then it continues on in 23. It says, then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Hamashiach, or there, believe it or not. All right, and that's going off of the same thing. There's going to be false Hamashiachs that are going to rise. Okay. All right. It says, for there shall arise. Here it is. Verse 24. For there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. All right, they're going to be very convincing. They're going to have different things that they're doing. All right, not only the false prophets, but the false Hamashiachs as well. That if it were possible, and it's not possible, by the way, it's going to be so convincing that if it was possible, the elect would even be deceived. But it's not possible for the elect to be deceived, so they're not going to be. But a lot of other people are going to be. It says, behold, I have told you before, wherefore if they say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, after Jacob's trouble, all right, during Jacob's trouble, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. All right, this is speaking of the nuclear missiles, all right, hitting and destroying Babylon the Great. It says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And these clouds are speaking of UFOs. All right, but they're not UFOs, they're IFOs. UFO stands for unidentified flying object. IFO is identified flying object. And these objects have been identified as the chariots, the vessels of the Lord that Yahushua will be returning on. All right, it says, in verse 31, it says, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now learn a parable of the fig tree, which his branch is yet tender, and putteth forth leaves, Ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, listen closely, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Prophecy must be fulfilled. Verse 35, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. These are red letters, by the way, so this is Yahweh Shai speaking. Okay? It says, but as the days of Noah were, or Noe, all right, before his name was Noah, but as the days of Noe were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall the coming of the Son of Man be. And these people out there, and say, oh no, the mark of the beast, no, the royal ship. Oh yeah, those are not going to happen. No, we're in fine times. Everything's fine. What are you talking about? We should go over here and go and see this Beyonce. Go, boom, the Lord comes back and everyone's fucking dead. That's how it's going to happen, man. And you don't think it's going to happen, but it's going to hit you. You're going to be completely blindsided because you don't understand it. You're not getting the prophecies. You don't understand what's going on. You're not paying attention. You don't, this is just a conspiracy theory until it happens. And then guess what? It's going to be too late. You're going to be fucked. You're going to be out of luck. There's no such thing as luck. All right. It all through the spirit and power and the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. If he wants it to happen, it happens. There's no such thing as luck. So let me refrain from using that word, that worldly term, luck. There's no such thing. All right. Luck would imply that it's something that happened, without anything happening. It was a random chance. Nothing's random. It's all through Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So nice try, nice shot. Hey man, nice shot, man. All right, as that song goes from the 90s. Okay, so these people knew, yeah, and that's how the people were. And guess what? When the flood started going down and shit started going down, guess what? They started fucking banging on that ark. Hey, let me in, please, let me in. The Lord said, don't do it. Don't let him in. And that's what's gonna happen with you people. Right at the last minute, you're going to try to find out information. It's going to be gone. It's going to be gone. You're not going to find anything, man. It says, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. And then, I think we're going to 42. Yep. It says, then shall two be in the field, and one shall be taken, and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill. The other one shall be taken, and the other left. Watch ye therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth cometh. And that's where we're going to close out. So get ready for some cyberpunk shit to hit the fan, man. Okay? It's gonna be bad, man. And you don't believe it, you don't buy it. Hey, it's gonna be terrible times. You don't believe it. Hey, that's just what's gonna happen. All right. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and close out. All right, Lord, this lesson was edifying once again. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakbadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, the time of this truth and rule well. And I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there, diligently pursuing this truth. Until next one, Lord willing, shalom.